of my life. I feel good. I feel really, really good. After all this reorganizing and life changing I'm done, I'll relax a little bit. This is the worst thing I've ever seen. Fuck? Oh god, this movie fucking sucks! Jekyll and Hyde, together again as a 1982 comedy directed by Jerry Belson and starring Mark Blankfield, Bess Armstrong, Krista Errickson, Tim Thomerson, Michael McGuire, Peter Bracco, Cassandra Peterson, and Lin Shaye. It's another Jekyll and Hyde movie and more cocaine. The film opens with Dr. Daniel Jekyll operating with a bunch of voyeurs.
Even finger movement.
Oh no, it's going to be one of those movies. Dr. Jekyll finishes brain surgery or whatever and announces that he's done being a surgeon.
Actually, none. I am giving up surgery.
No! I'm sure him leaving the surgical profession will be the equivalent of someone getting on Facebook and announcing they're leaving the social media platform. You fucking attention whores.
It really just like blows my mind, you know, to think that you'll never be operating again because, you know, like, you're so mellow and everything, you know, and like, it really just like freaks me out, you know, to the max.
Why not have one more? You could sell tickets.
What do you intend to replace surgery with?
Drugs.
Right on. Hal's is not happy, and hospital head Carew goes to find Jekyll and talk him into doing a total organ transplant.
Later.
Huh? Jekyll is engaged to Carew's daughter Mary, and he threatens to stop the wedding if he doesn't cut on the billionaire. Does anyone notice him standing like that? Jekyll goes to the charity ward, which looks a lot like a liquidating Kmart. Mary arrives to scold Jekyll for missing their lunch date and then reads a letter from his adopted daughter.
Dear American Father,
the day will soon come when you and the other running dogs of imperialism will be disemboweled by the subjugated masses, and your bones will be left to rot beneath the rising sun of revolution.
Revolution! Mary then reveals that she submitted Jekyll's notes to a research contest with a top prize of $500,000.
On your experiments, and I submitted them to the Putzpuller Prize Committee.
Really?
So is that how it works?
Now, Danny, don't work too hard. You need your rest.
I'll rest on our honeymoon.
Not if I can help it.
Hey now.
You know, people are starting to talk about you, Jack.
Will a proctologist please report to the emergency room? There's an asshole waiting.
Jesus. Is he cutting cocaine? Jekyll's plan is to find a way to open up the survival instincts for some reason. I don't know. A nurse arrives needing help in the ER.
Yes.
I'm sorry to bother you, Doctor.
That's all right.
After getting through that joke, they get to the real problem.
All right. What's the problem?
She seems to have a foreign object lodged in her
V-A-G-I-N-A.
Oh no.
Come on, let's get this shit over with.
Where's the foreign object?
Wow. That bit was even worse than I expected. Oh, and that's racist. There's some awkward nudity followed by Jekyll paying Ivy $10 for her pantyhose. Is that coffee? And he kept the pantyhose because he's obviously a fucking pervert. It's late and Jekyll is burning the midnight oil. Clumsy shit. He falls asleep and oh, it sparkles. Jesus Christ. Jekyll has a freak out, and why is there a Tesla coil in there? He transforms featuring da hair, gold chains, and dental work. He leaves the hospital stealing a car, and look at that cocaine fingernail.
Eat it, dickhead!
I've always wanted to do that. Huh? Hyde arrives at this Chinese New Wave place, snorts some horseradish, and has a seat. I really love that first album from Ivy and the Shitty Rainbows. There's a musical sequence and Hyde and Ivy head upstairs.
Ivy has work to do. Say goodnight. Say goodnight.
The hell? He tells her his name and then gets fisted. The next morning...
Oh, no more wire hangers.
Bring me the axe!
Jekyll's back and having no idea what's going on gets out of there. If this wasn't such a shitty copy of this movie, we could read what that said. Jekyll heads to a horse show professing his love to Mary while continuously hurting himself and asking her to marry him tomorrow. Just forget any of that happened because the wedding will not be addressed at all for the remainder of the film.
Good morning.
Who is that? Jekyll. Why's he always got his hands on his pants?
See? I'm not the only one who knows that shit.
Balls! Balls! I need balls! $1 million!
Excuse me.
$1 million for a set of balls? I know guys that hand them over for free on their first date. Meanwhile, Jekyll decides he's going to flush the stuff but talks himself into saving it for research. Yeah, research. That box of Twinkies in my desk are for research. Then he rolls $1, snorts, and makes a change. Hyde steals an ambulance, delivering this obligatory falling in the fountain shot, and heads to find Ivy.
Cut him.
Hey! 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 Hey!
Fuck you! He bribes the game with the stuff and heads to the supermarket to find her. Here's some wackiness!
Yeah. Hey, come on. Hey! Hey! Let me go!
Stop playing with other dogs.
I'm an old guy, but what the hell is 19 cereal? He finds her and they start to get it on.
Not here. What do you think this is, a Kmart?
Jekyll wakes up and whoa! He once again loves them, then leaves them. He goes to Mary's, and just when she thinks she's finally getting the D...
That was beautiful.
Daniel? Didn't we leave something out?
Then Dad shows up.
But, sir, I've decided to perform the operation.
You have? Fuck your brains out, kids.
It's the day of the big surgery, and Jekyll is once again trying to make a decision.
You're on, asshole. We got work to do.
Thank you. Too bad it's not the drugs, it's Cassandra Peterson's cleavage that gets Hyde going.
Kazonga's baby!
Cassandra Peterson, better known as Elvira, the Mistress of the Dark! Jekyll fights the change until...
Cold cuts!
Oh no.
You folks have lunch yet, huh?
That ends the plot points of Hubert, Hal, and Carew. Moving on. He goes to Newt for help, and surprise! Hyde then roams the hospital looking for drugs, winding up in the lab, and Lin Shaye delivering a telegram. Turns out Jekyll won the $500,000, so he steals a car to get Ivy and take her to London for that big money. If it's 1982, it has to be an arcade! He reveals to her that he's Jekyll, and she dumps him because she likes Jekyll better than his coked up ass, leading to a car accident. Look at that airport security.
The only way to fly.
For a movie filled with stupid, I'm gonna call that spot extra stupid. Ivy decides to take a train to London. Get it? And we get to see a ripoff of Raiders of the Lost Ark. It's not Indiana Jones and the Raiders of the Lost Ark. It's Raiders of the Lost Ark. Quit changing shit, hipsters. Hyde arrives in London for the ceremony, and I have to wonder how the hell they got there.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Queen. To Doctors Helen and Joseph Schneider.
Fuck this movie! George Takaris accepts the award for Jekyll, revealing the donation of the final grains of powder to science. Then Hyde arrives to score that shit. He delivers a stand-up bit.
How about these Arabs, huh? Yeah, I passed some fancy hotel on my way over here tonight. The doorman's parking at Camel.
That's racist.
Where's Jekyll? Jekyll's not going to make it tonight. He took a powder.
Here it comes.
Up my nose. Maybe you can see him up there.
Then we get a musical sequence.
They say I'm a friend.
But you got an ass I've got nothing to hide. I've got nothing to hide.
He flashes the crowd, and at this point, I'm ready for the film to end. Ivy arrives as Hyde flees. Putz puller. There's a chase that turns to black and white, and Ivy shoots him. Thank Christ! It returns to color, and Jekyll has Ivy and Mary hovering over him, to which they realize that each personality is to their satisfaction. So they decide to share him.
My story!
Robert Louis Stevenson is lucky he's dead because he didn't have to watch this fucking movie. Like many films in this time frame, Jekyll and Hyde together again is trying to ride that bubble created by Airplane. A bubble that even a sequel to Airplane couldn't ride. The film is stupid as hell, with no real payoff. There's a very narrow story here, but everything else just falls off like leaves on a dying plant. All that's left's the main trunk. Shit, that's too poetic for this fucking movie. There are a few funny bits, but the fact that your movie is a parody doesn't mean you can just go half-assed on the plot. Director Jerry Belson also wrote the previously reviewed Smokey and the Bandit 2, which I dare say is a better film. Maybe this movie just needed an elephant and Terry Bradshaw.
You were very brave donating both of your testicles.
Watch it, Bob!